Have you ever wondered why the US sanctions seem to be falling short against China? To understand this better, we need to dive deep into the global economic web. Let us explore the daunting challenges the US faces and the strategies it must employ to navigate this complex geopolitical puzzle. The increasing sanctions imposed by the United States on China are considered a powerful tool in compelling China to change its policies. However, there is an escalating concern about China's vigorous efforts to circumvent these actions. Alarm bells have been ringing due to China's growing proficiency in managing and responding to these sanctions. The potential implications in global power dynamics are a significant concern. There are apprehensions that a resilient Chinese economy, which remains unaffected by these sanctions, could lead to the People's Republic amassing substantial power. If the Western powers fail to halt this rise, the world might witness an authoritarian regime that disregards human rights' ascent to dominance. China has demonstrated a readiness to tackle the impacts of US-imposed sanctions head-on. Their government has endeavored to diversify their trade partnerships and reduce dependence on the US, making them less susceptible to economic coercion. Today, China has established itself as a primary trading partner, particularly in Asia. If sanctions become ineffective, China's rising economic power and influence could lead to a global shift towards authoritarian rule that undermines human rights. This concern is a result of China's aggressive expansion of its economic ties and influence with many countries around the world. The combination of China's emergence as a leading economic powerhouse and its authoritarian political system could serve as a model for other nations, resulting in a decline in democratic values and the protection of human rights. If sanctions fail to curb China's economic growth and political ambitions, the Chinese government could become more assertive on the international stage. China's growing economic influence has given it the ability to form alliances and exert considerable influence over other nations. This could put pressure on these nations to adopt policies in line with China's interests, even if it means sacrificing human rights. As countries may prioritize economic gains over ethical obligations in such a scenario, international efforts to advocate for and protect human rights could suffer. To prevent such a shift in the balance of power, the international community must address China's rise comprehensively. China's far-reaching trade connections and economic codependency present considerable obstacles for the US in its quest to rally support from allies in East Asia and Europe for imposing stringent sanctions. As China has become an integral trade partner for many countries, particularly in Asia, these nations may find it tough to jeopardize their economic bonds with China. East Asian nations heavily depend on Chinese goods and commerce, which poses a substantial challenge for the US when trying to persuade these countries to join them in administering harsh sanctions. Any potential retaliation from China, like the ceasing of trade or the implementation of economic penalties, could severely impact these nations' economies. Similarly, in Europe, China is a significant trade partner, holding the position as the largest external trading partner of the European nation. The extensive economic bonds between China and European countries further muddy the waters in attempts to rally support for severe sanctions. European nations affected by debt or reliant on trade with China might think twice before endangering their economic interests by imposing harsh measures against China. This intricate network of economic interdependence, along with the potential economic fallout of sanctioning China, makes it difficult for the US to rally its allies for strong sanctions. At the same time, they should consider alternative strategies beyond conventional sanctions to influence China's conduct. Alright, it seems that you love our content. So if you would like to watch more, then do check out our channel. Subscribe for amazing videos like this one.